Losing power and being unable to clear your diesel particulate filter is a surefire way to end up stranded on the side of the road with a truck that will not start. The code P047B is all about the exhaust pressure sensor labeled B, and it usually pops up on modern turbocharged vehicles like the Ford 6.0-liter diesel or the newer Cummins 6.7-liter engines used in heavy-duty trucks. This code means the incoming signal from the exhaust pressure sensor does not match the intake manifold pressure or the ambient air pressure when you first turn the key to the on position. It is a critical part of the system that helps the variable nozzle turbocharger and the emissions equipment work together to keep the engine efficient. When this sensor fails or gets a bad reading, you will likely feel a significant lack of power, and your truck might refuse to perform a manual regeneration to burn the soot out of the particulate filter. If you cannot perform that, burn off the filter will eventually clog up so much that you will have a crank but no start condition. Most of the time, the problem is not actually the sensor itself, but a blockage in the small metal tube that connects the exhaust manifold to the sensor. Carbon buildup from the diesel exhaust can get so thick inside that tube that no pressure can get through to the sensor. You should start your repair by finding the sensor and disconnecting that tube to see if you can blow air through it. If it is blocked, you can try using a thin piece of wire to poke through the carbon or use some electrical contact cleaner to break down the soot. You should also look for any signs of moisture or water being blown out of the tube, because that can also cause a false reading. Check the wiring harness for any signs of chafing or melted plastic, and pull the connectors apart to look for green corrosion on the metal terminals. If you have a digital volt-ohm meter, you should check for a 5-volt power supply coming from the powertrain control module and make sure you have a good ground circuit. If the tube is clear and the wiring is perfect but the code still comes back, then the exhaust pressure sensor has likely failed and needs to be replaced. If you still have issues after replacing the sensor, you might need to check for a technical service bulletin from the manufacturer to see if your computer needs a software update. Would you like me to check if there are any active recalls or technical service bulletins for the exhaust pressure system on your specific truck?